Yeah, yeah. That's what we should do. Hello and welcome. My name is Jay Yee, and with me today is my good old friend, Alexander Gonzalez. And
Hello.
please remember that we are not game devs. How are you doing today, Alex?
I'm doing good, Jay. All right, that's enough of that. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's considering the times, we're surviving.
But those are not the times that we are talking about. Today, where am I? Today, we're creating something new. Every week,
Jay got
we
lost
are
in
not.
time.
Yeah, I did. We are not game devs. Will create a new, exciting video game idea that we have always wanted to play, but not have any knowledge. I just slurred all those words together in one huge word.
You're drunk.
Do I have knowledge or know how to create the wonderful experience that are video games? I'm not denying or the other word for it, that statement. Today is my turn to present We Are Not Game Devs 113th IP. Let's begin with the basic concept. This is a weird concept, and it came to me while I was playing Paper Mario, right?
Paper Mario.
And I was thinking, what if there was a game that taught you how to fold pretty complex origami patterns? It will start off with something simple like the swan or the little bird that
the crane, Jay, the origami crane.
The origami crane. And it'll start out with simpler origami stuff like that, like the frog that you could like make it like bounce around and stuff with the chopstick paper.
And then you could eventually work your way up to the lotus.
Yeah, and like the crazy shit, where it takes multiple pieces of the paper. But that's just the framing of this game. What's really happening is when you're folding the paper, it's going to be kind of like a tug-of-war army thing that's happening where there's two armies fighting and one's trying to not let you fold the paper while your army is trying to fold the paper.
How would they stop you from folding the paper?
So you are underneath the paper trying to fold it over while they're underneath the paper trying to push you back. And then you're trying to get them to the other side and then crease it down. And then it will fold over to the next origami thing, and then you do it again. And the way I see these army tug wars happening, I don't know. It could be like a rhythm game. It could be like a RTS style, like Civ, or like a Total War, or like that.
Or it could be like a Pikmin.
Or it could be like a Pikmin. How would you get more military paper folk?
Paper points. So the more you fold paper from the folds creates energy where there's these little paper dolls that come out and then can come to your side.
But then how would you lose? Because then
I think you lose if for some reason maybe you don't fold it on the line correctly, and every time there's a small mistake, you create more of the negative paper dolls. It's the first idea. The thing is, how would you feel resistance? I feel like for someone who's as strong as we are, wouldn't we just be able to tilt the joystick forward and then it would fold, keep pressing A?
Yeah, but I think it's not about folding the paper. It's about this tug-of-war army situation that's happening in the paper. And that's the main gameplay, but it is folding origami in a realistic way. The way I see this RTS thing happening, or this army battle happening, is,
what if it's maybe like an RTS where the more times you fold it, I think it's going to have to be a genre mishmash, or maybe it's an RTS rhythm game where the more times you hit the rhythm well to tell them to push, almost like Patapon, you'll be able to cause energy, which then upgrades your troops. So then your troops start out basic, and then you can upgrade them different ways depending on the strategy of what you need.
I like it. So maybe we should just make it kind of Patapon-esque, where we have we have it so you're following a rhythm, and then as you hit certain things, maybe I don't want to rip directly from Patapon, but
I was thinking that we could do also where there are different summons eventually too. This is going to be RTS, RPG, and rhythm, where after, like, let's say this is going to increase your chances and do replayability. That if you go back and play the crane level, you can stack cranes, and then those you can summon in battle to help you.
okay.
So, the more paper crafts you fold and the more times you beat a level, the more times you can have that number of a summon.
So that goes back to replayability, and maybe the more times you beat a certain level, you get upgrades to that summon or something like that.
Yeah, and you could even do that where all of a sudden the folds and the different details of the origami become more ornate and intricate as you start upgrading.
How about this is how we make each level work? Where each origami battle, war, or whatever you want to call it, we completely rhythm game this, where each level is its own complete song. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Where we have music for every level, and it's a rhythm game where you're just pressing buttons, and the better combos you get, the more help you get from your army, like reinforcements.
And I you know how I feel, Jay. I need things to evolve, man. I need them to change. Like if I'm doing good, I want to, even if they don't get like armor or anything, what if you build like little origami muscles, or they get maybe bigger in ratio, or in some way you see them start, like, if there's a streak, like good, great, perfect. Like it changes the way they play. Like that always jazzes me up when I see my little guys working for me. Like they're excited. It makes me excited.
Maybe what it could be is you do get points, and then you could kind of upgrade with the points that you earn, like 3 different stats, right?
And I would like that to be just temporary, almost like if you've ever played a League of Legends or MOBA, where you can upgrade your temporary troops for that level, and then it's done. It doesn't go on to the next one. Only the summons would.
So maybe it's more like, kind of like how Candy Crush works, where before the level, you could choose to put points into like upgrades. If you know what I mean. Like,
yeah,
you choose to spend your points on having a boost in attack power or something, or defense. So if you mess up more, it doesn't hurt you that much,
I can see that. Yeah.
Of course, the music is gonna have to be interactive. I don't know if that's the right word. Where if you mess up and lose, it will go back a phrase or a verse,
and you'll be playing along with the beat.
Yeah.
What kind of music are we looking at? Because right now I'm straight up thinking like like Naruto music, like how it was on that anime, where it's like a lot of the string instruments with a lot of the Japanese drums going on, where it's like taiko drums on top of the string instruments. But it could be whatever we want it to be. I just think for some reason that's where my head goes first.
Yeah, I think like traditional Japanese-esque sound of music, but maybe we could like
do all genres if you want.
Do multiple genres, but made with those instruments, So,
yeah, because rap, for some reason, I like Japanese rap.
Oh, I love Japanese rap.
Why?
Japanese rap's amazing, and I listen to a lot of Japanese rap. That's like my thing right now. But that's not the thing we're talking about. The music could be like, so like all sorts of different genres, but it's like what you're folding as origami. Like if it's like a lotus leaf, it's going to be like some serene-esque music that sounds very like meditative or whatever. But then if you're folding I don't know,
a sword.
Yeah, a sword. It's going to be like kind of more like a rock sounding soundtrack, but it's still the traditional Japanese instruments,
Yeah. I like that.
Real quick before we go to pricing, let's talk about how the game looks.
I, for some reason, have been picturing it black and white with different color splashes when the paper folds. And I don't, and maybe the different fold lines having colors if you want, but it being very minimal. I don't know where I'm going with that, but that's what I pictured in my head. Okay. You can guide me out of it.
Maybe it starts off, all black and white, or kind of just grayscale, where everything's just gray. And as you fold, your folded pieces light up, and as you keep on folding, it keeps on lighting up, and eventually, when you're finished folding, it's like in flower, where everything like comes back alive, where color returns to everything once you're finished folding.
I like that. Yeah.
Cool. And that's I guess cool. it'll look like real paper.
So the closest thing would be maybe Paper Mario, where it's going to have that kind of art style where everything has, where you can see the texture.
I wouldn't say Paper Mario. I would say more like Yoshi's Crafted World.
All right, Yoshi's Crafted World.
You know what I mean?
That's the one. I played a demo of that.
all the Paper Army things, they'll just like look like, like in Japanese temples, they have the little paper looking humans.
Yeah, I think they're called paper dolls.
Yeah,
they're things that you can make where they all hold hands and they stretch out.
Exactly, they'll kind of look like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking all along. I'm glad we're on the same page. Page.
Pricing. How much do you think we're gonna pay for this game?
I'm gonna pay $29.99. Jay, how about you?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. $29.99. Let's do it. All right, Alex. Time to start your timer, because it's time to name this game.
All right. I didn't realize I could just look at this timer right here and begin.
I don't want to call it something stupid like Folding Wars or Origami Wars or something like that.
I had Origami Wars in my head. I'm not defending it though. All right. Not something stupid. Wow, this is going to be a tough one. Buckle in, buckaroos. Here we go.
Let's see.
The crane flies high.
The paper. No. I'm trying to think of like dope war names, like War of the Roses.
Yeah, I played a Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Game was dope. Oh my god, how good was that Yu-Gi-Oh! War of the Roses game?
It was really, really. It was a completely different game, honestly. If you guys could check it out, late PS2, it had a lot of different Yu-Gi-Oh!
It was like a giant chessboard, and like you move your character. You could like set environments that had area of effects. Oh, great
and
game.
You had lead. Yeah, okay, but anyway, paper, power, paper. Peter picked.
Damn.
I'm trying to think of something with folds, but I can't.
Yeah, paper, I can't think of anything either. Or I'm trying to think of something like we can't do Page Master because that's that one movie.
Let's see. I keep going back to Origami, so that's where I want to be.
We can't. The perfect fold.
Can we just call it Origami?
We could just call it Origami.
There's nothing named Origami, right? Let's do it.
All right, let's just call it Origami.
Let's move in.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. We got Origami at 1 minute and 33 seconds now.
Man, that's probably one of the worst ones we've got in a while.
Yes, it is.
All right, Alex, go ahead and give me a description of Origami.
Origami is the paper crafting rhythm RPG where you fight to fold. You must complete different origami structures, art, different origami art by using your army of little paper dolls. The more you influence them and gather their morale through rhythm-based combat and summons, you will be able to fold forever in origami.
All right. So, I think we got a game here, Alex. What do you think? Would this be a game you would want to play? And is it fun?
Yeah, it's definitely a game I'd want to play. I'd want it on the Switch. I'd want to play a lot of it. And I think it would be very nice to have the game fold for me. What about you, Jay? How are you feeling?
I would like this on the PlayStation, specifically because it just sounds like a fun platinum. Like a fun,
that's where you see it,
relaxing platinum, and learn some cool origami along the way.
Yeah, I that's where I'd get to, where I'd be sitting on the couch and be like, oh, I didn't know you could do an origami that. Wow.
Yeah. All right, now that we have a complete game, what game studio would you assign to make origami the best?
Man, that's tough. That's tough. Because it's going to be a shorter game. It's going to be smaller in scope. So who do we think is going to be able to take this and just knock it out of the park?
Well, I mean, Japan studio that did Patapon.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to go.
Yeah. Santa Monica studio that did, like, didn't they do like Ho Ho Come and like all those weird ass games?
Yeah. And then what about, I'm going to throw this in there, Rare. They do a bunch of cute stuff too. Their characters are always known for being cute. I think if we were to do this, the paper dolls would be more endearing than ever.
How about the guys who did Watam, better known as those who did Katamari Damacy.
Oh, yeah.
Which is Funomina, maybe.
Funomina.
Yeah, they could do something interesting with this.
Most definitely. It's hard for me to come up with studios that would be able to do this.
Right.
Not saying it's just that this is where they're
who would choose to do it.
Yeah.
Media Molecule.
Because I don't want to sit there, like, for instance, I'm not going to sit there and say, yeah, Atlas. This is where they're at. They're like, you know?
All right. And with that, our 113th IP has gone gold. We hope you look forward to this experience that will probably never release. You could write to apphoundgames@gmail.com if you have anything patched to the game we created today. Also, give us feedback. We are still learning how to make the show better, and your feedback really helps. We have a Patreon. If you'd like to back our ideas, please head over to patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. Patrons receive episodes 2 days early and an extra podcast at the beginning, which caught the tail end of our conversation at the beginning of this episode. That's patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. If you liked our show, why not subscribe and give us all the stars on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Store, Spotify, YouTube, and more. And if they ask for a review, instead of reviewing our show, become your inner game critic and review Origami, the video game we just created. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back next Friday with another new IP. Again, my name's Jay.
And I'm Alex Gonzalez.
Thank you. And please remember that we are not game devs.
You know, Jay, I feel like there's a lot of potential in the second syllable of my last name, the Z. I feel like that's where I can derive power, like right through the middle, like Gonzalez.
Do you want me to start calling you that?
No. I think there's a way phonetically that when I get introduced, we're going to have to highlight and underline and put dots around that syllable.
Well, here we go. Hello and welcome. My name is Jay, and with me today is my good old friend, Alexander Gonzalez. Did I do it right?
Hell yeah, Jay. What do you see? I'm coming in with different energy already.